Blair Waldorf even said, "I'm not a stop along the way, I'm the destination."
Welcome back to the Stanley Live channel. Today is gonna be me, it's gonna be chat, it's gonna be it's just my manager in the back, you know. Yeah, okay. And we are reacting to a video from the one, the only, the homie, Caradaze, the rise of pretty mean girls.
I know you may find this hard to believe, but not everyone wants to go to Yale because not everyone wants to be Blair Waldorf.
Not everyone can be. Since we're not friends anymore, let me speak frankly. You're not that smart. You lack focus and discipline. Charm is all well and good, but in the real world, knowledge is power. You wouldn't make it past the first round of admissions at Yale, no matter how hard you tried. Have fun in Providence.
So I just found out that girls
Type shorty, you gotta start grabbing like these, chat. You gotta start grabbing, you gotta grab it up here and you got. I'm sorry, I'm 24. Okay, you're right.
from my old school are passing my videos around, and so I just found out that girls from my old school are passing my videos around and making fun of me. Like we're still in high school, which is crazy because we're grown. We're 21 years old.
Right.
Know? But it's fine. Honestly, it just seems like they're jealous.
Okay.
They could never be doing what I'm doing. So I don't really care. I'm gonna be famous one day, and they're just gonna be sad and lonely and sitting in their rooms and judging other people. So.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here right now because I'm dressed like a hooker and none of you like me. But I just wanted to say congratulations.
Maddie, get out of here.
She was fine shit though. I ain't even gonna catch. She was fine as hell.
She's effortlessly pretty, emotionally detached, and always unbothered. And just a little bit mean. You know her. You've scrolled past her on TikTok. Seen her passive-aggressive get ready with me videos. Or maybe...
First and foremost, my TikToks consist of LeBron James, every black Twitch streamer and YouTuber, and anime edits. Ooh, okay, what else? Oh, I don't know why. I be getting like toxic dating advice. I don't do the toxic dating though, but I like the videos because it's funny. So like somebody will say something like, I saw a video, you guys are gonna see it in my next animation. I saw a video and then it was like, girls be like, I'm gonna use my name. And girls be like, oh, Stanley is so strict over here. And then in the video go, he like, oh, Stanley is so strict over here. How you gonna say it's strict over here? I ain't even take your phone yet. I ain't even give you your bedtime yet. It didn't even get started. And I'll like stuff like that because they'll make me, even though I don't like agree with it though. Yeah, I get toxic TikTok dating relationship TikToks on my junk though.
You've tried to be her. In this video, we're diving into the rise of the pretty mean girl aesthetic. From Y2K villains like Regina George to the influencer girlies with monotone voices and 1,000-yard stares. We'll unpack where this trend comes from, what it says about beauty, power, and femininity, and why Gen Z seems to be obsessed with it. Before we get into this video, hi, my name is Caroline, your internet bestie who loves to yap and use
what's good, Caroline?
My love of commentary to give glory to God and uplift other women. If you you are new here, don't forget to subscribe if you want to. Of course, you don't have to because it's definitely your choice. But if you agree or disagree with anything said in this space, leave a comment down below as I love learning and growing with all of you. The mean girl archetype isn't new. The mean girl has existed for decades, but she wasn't always aspirational. In the early 2000s, films like Mean Girls, Clueless, and Gossip Girl gave us a new kind of female villain. Beautiful, wealthy, socially powerful, and cruel. Blair Waldorf even said, "I'm not a stop along the way, I'm the destination." And she ate that right up. These characters were
I'm glad we're all in agreement. I'm glad.
People we would look up to, beings that we would aspire to emulate. Their confidence, the no-nonsense energy was something that girls wanted to have. These characters were often cautionary tales, not icons. But even then, their fashion, their confidence, and their cruelty made them unforgettable. I probably rewatched Gossip Girl like 2 or 3 times, and just Blair Waldorf, her whole character, her being, is just something that's unforgettable. Feminist media critic Susan J. Douglas once said in her book, Where the Girls Are, media's bad girls have always fascinated us. Not because we admire their behavior, but because they're allowed to break the rules. The mean girl archetype lets girls express dominance in a culture where female anger is still taboo. It's one of those things that I think a lot of people
I think anger in general is taboo though. I'll say that because literally, like, whenever I see like a dude being like, "Oh, I'm about to crash out, bro," if this, I literally like I physically become disgusted. Like I can't stop it. Like I'll literally look and I'll literally be like, "Whoa, it's weird." I'm like getting icked out by another man right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just think anger in general is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anger is cool when you're applying it to something, like you hooping, people getting mad and stuff like that, and you trying to win. It's cool to a certain extent. You get what I'm saying? You going back and forth with somebody, they giving you the energy you giving them. That's cool. That's vibey. You get what I'm saying? If everybody's in on it, it's cool. When it's just some situation where you're just out here getting mad at a server and you like, yo, I'm about to crash on this restaurant.
Look at an anomaly. Sometimes when you see beautiful women, back then at least, you wouldn't always associate them with, oh, she's going to be mean, she's going to be aggressive, she's going to be standoffish. But in our generation, a lot of people, when they see a very strikingly gorgeous woman.
Man, somebody in my chat said, I'm going to take a bite of the milk chocolate. You want to say something? Who is it? It's probably a man, but did you want to acknowledge that or did you want me to not acknowledge that no more?
I do acknowledge it.
Yeah.
What's going on in this?
Yeah, E-Man's not letting nobody bite him at this moment, bro. Unless you find shit. Drop a picture in the Discord.
Bro,
okay, my fault. You're right. My fault.
Sometimes get a little bit surprised.
Huh? Oh, he's like, you're stupid.
When she's super sweet off the bat. Ever wonder why that is?
I met one of those rude, nice girls at the Whole Foods yesterday, and like I thought they only existed online. You know what I'm talking about? You know, hold on. This is why I met her. Not specifically her, but I met a girl like her at the Whole Foods yesterday. The interaction literally went like this. Why don't you? This is the girl. She had cool glasses on. Why don't you go in front of me? Oh, thank you. Really? Are you sure? Yes. Look at this. She had a bunch of shit in her cart. Look at this. Like, you have one thing from the bakery, please. Actually, what is that? Oh yeah, these are the blueberry Fruitigo era. I don't know what they're called. The lady at the bakery had to tell me. The blueberry tarts, they're so good. Are you serious? Wow. Okay, great. Yeah, now I have to go get some, so thanks a lot. This lady leaves the line, heads towards the bakery, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, this is your fault, so thanks. Girl, they're gonna think I made you leave the line. Can you chill? The type of attitude just...
Hot take? I don't know if I think she was mean. I get what she's trying to say. I get the sentiments, but that kind of sounds like a banter kind of conversation. Like, yo, where did you get that? Yo, I got this from there. What do they call it? Oh, it's called this. Well, now I got to go get them because of you. It's kind of like on some, like, I don't know. I don't even know if that's passive. Maybe she didn't indicate it right, but that's kind of banter, though. I feel like that's just kind of banter, though. I could be wrong.
Fairway men, I love it.
Gen Z and the resting baddie face. Like I mentioned, fast forward to now, and the mean girl isn't just back. She's...
I got a resting baddie face? Talk to me. Yeah, you got a resting bid face. Like a good, like fine shit, or just, yeah. I gotta read this from my residential smart person. 2x4, thank you so much. It's almost like the pretty mean girl isn't just a tired high school archetype. She's the distilled image of femininity, has been historically commodified and then rebranded for Gen Z. In our generation, prettiness operates as a form of soft power, a currency traded on algorithm and aesthetics branding, and you didn't put a comma after aesthetics, and meanness becomes the performance of scarcity. The suggestion is that beauty is a resource that must be defended by exclusion. It's less about personal cruelty and more about a spectacle of power that rewards those who embodies and enforces the cultural script for desirability. In this sense, the trope tells us less about individual characters and more about how Gen Z has inherited a neoliberal model of femininity, one where self-worth is publicly curated, hierarchy is aesthetized, aesthetized, and power is maintained not through overt domination, but through selective access to validation. Sounded outstanding. Okay. Thank you, residential smart man. Thank you.
They made her aesthetic. This version isn't rich and snobby. She's anti-emotional, stunning, and vaguely threatening. Her vibe? Think Sophia Richie, soft glam meets euphoria, detachment. A really good trend that this can directly relate to is the rise of the mob wife aesthetic. This clean girl with an attitude and hyper-feminine luxury influencers who
When did this start becoming a thing? This is back?
talk like they're bored. You know, I think a lot of people see these influencers. There's one influencer in particular, I'm forgetting her name, but I see her more and more on my For You page and on my Instagram, and she's just stinkingly rich. She's stinkingly rich. Her and her husband are always, I don't know, they're just living a really great life. She gets amazing PR and opportunities and events, and she's just very far removed, but not in the way that makes you dislike her or makes her seem like, oh, she's tone deaf. She's very far removed, but also just in a very like weird, relatable, cutesy way. I'm gonna try to find videos of her and attach her, but every time I watch her videos, I'm like, wow, I can't relate, but I'm like so happy for you because it just makes sense. Your whole vibe, your whole aesthetic, everything you've curated around you just seems like it makes sense for you. I remember one time I was watching one of her videos, she was eating breakfast, and I think she just had caviar on the side, and I didn't bat an eye.
I'm gonna delete that because you're right.
Take my breakfast with me. Our chef made a mix of traditional American and Chinese cuisine this morning. I'm most excited for these lemon ricotta pancakes. Next up, we have these chicken apple sausages, side of over easy eggs, which I'm going to season with a little bit of caviar.
And TikToker at Christina Nadger, aka Tinks, who coined the term rich mom walk and regularly jokes about being a villain in your own story. It's not about confidence, it's about survival. You have to protect yourself, and sometimes that means being a little cold. That's a quote directly from Lana Del Rey. According to Dr. Caroline Coca, professor of gender studies, this aesthetic is a response to emotional labor. Women are expected to be kind, nurturing, and likable. The mean girl flips that expectation by
I just feel like everybody should be expected to do that. I feel like I expect my homies to do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I expect the shorties to do that. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, expectation is actually not the word that I want to use here. I feel like that should be the default submission for every person's relationships. However the case, I don't like expecting things of people. I feel like that's the best way to be let down. I just would hope that's what you do. But like realistically, plan for the worst, be happy if it's not the case. However, I see what she's saying, but you know what I'm saying? I see what she's saying, though. I see what she's saying.
Weaponizing detachments. I think this is a very interesting conversation because I do want to touch on the fact that I'm not trying to uplift mean girls or bullies in this video.
Right.
Not at all. But it is something that makes me curious and ultimately making me want to start a conversation. Why does it sometimes feel like when girls are being mean, women who are perceived to be conventionally pretty to a certain caliber within Gen Z can get away with it a little bit more than the latter? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've just seen this in so many different instances, and I just wonder if this is a thing. Am I tripping? Or are a lot of people noticing this as well? Let me know, because it also kind of ties into the fact that a lot of these women who do seem to be, I don't know, give off RBFs, seem to be...
I feel like sometimes people, not her, I feel like sometimes people just like ignore things that aren't fair. It doesn't exist. Sometimes things are just not fair. Like, if you're taller than everybody in a room, you're naturally more inclined to get the first look. If you're tall and you're medium attractive, you have a higher chance at bagging somebody if you just by existing in a space than somebody who maybe isn't of that same size. Like, and it's just not fair, but it exists. So same thing with this. It's like, if you're attractive, it doesn't make it fair, but it does exist where it's like, you're attractive, so we're gonna let you get away with more. Not me. But like, we're gonna let you get away with more. It's not fair, but I feel like people ignore that, like, just things that aren't fair exist. Cause she's asking it and posing it as a question, but I feel like the answer is really simple. It's just not fair.
Very emotionally detached, but they're gorgeous. Still tend to blow
Appreciate
up
that,
Is the prettiness of it enough? Or
JF,
do people still need to have a good personality? These are things I think about. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Game over.
Game's not over until I say it is.
Then have fun playing with yourself.
Compliment me. Tell me my hair looks beautiful.
But your hair looks disgusting.
What did you just do?
You'll see. Haven't you heard? I'm the crazy bitch around here.
Pretty privilege, power, and performance. There's a reason this archetype works so well. And it's not just about the outfits, it's about power. In a world that inadvertently rewards beauty with access, attention, credibility, being pretty gives you leverage, but being mean, that adds a certain type of mystique. There's TikTokers who have literally come out to say that we love girls who are mean, but only when they're hot. So this is a real thing.
That's a
2021
crazy
study
thing
in
to say.
psychological science found that attractive people are perceived as more competent and socially dominant, even when they exhibit cold or aggressive behaviors. It's kind of one of those things where, let's say you're in a convenience store or you're in a fast food service place and someone is having an issue. Are you quicker to help them if they look conventionally beautiful to you, man or woman?
I I'm quicker to help him to see what they pockets looking like. If he got a couple hundred sticking out their pocket, I don't care what his face look like. Trying to see what their bank account look like. No cat. You helping people for the wrong reasons.
Or does it not matter? I don't know. I try to think about that from my own point of view, and I feel like it wouldn't matter, but ultimately a lot of people would think it wouldn't matter. But when you're in that exact situation, do you think it really wouldn't matter? What if it's not just like, oh, you're a girl and you're looking at a very beautiful woman who's acting very mean or rude, but you're looking at a very attractive man, a man that you would be attracted to as a woman, or vice versa, whatever you're attracted to. Does that make it a little bit different? It's something interesting to ask yourself. Villains like Alexa Damie's Maddie in Euphoria, or Madison from The Idol, whose power lies in beauty and subtle cruelty, show how femininity, when combined with dominance, becomes aspirational. Because who did not fall in love with Maddie in the season finale of Euphoria? Feminism, satire, and social media rebellion. Now, some do argue that this step is a step backwards in terms of aesthetics. Return to toxic girl versus girl culture, but others see it as a satirical feminism, a way to reclaim space by playing the villain. Brittany Broski said on her TikTok live, the villain era isn't about hurting people, it's about finally choosing yourself. That's why I do feel like it can kind of go back to what it's specifically.
The villain era is not about hurting people, it's about choosing yourself. But that almost makes it seem like choosing yourself is synonymous with hurting people. I know that's literally what she's saying it's not about, but it almost makes it sound like in order for you to choose yourself, you have to hurt people in doing so. That's almost what it sounds like. So I don't, that just, I hear what she's saying though.
Are you being mean for? Is it about your power? Is it about confidence? Is it about something else? What's it for? Because I have, as a retired people pleaser, have had to learn myself that sometimes you can't always be nice, because sometimes people don't take you seriously, or people feel like they can walk all over you when you are nice or too nice. And so that can be a very unfortunate thing for somebody who does just enjoy being a very genuine and kind person, because this world doesn't always reward those people. Creators are leaning into this like a resistance. They're rejecting emotional labor, performative kindness, and being palatable for male validation. A really, really good quote from Bell Hooks. Y'all know I love using Bell Hook quotes. She says, feminist consciousness raising is not about being nice. It's about truth telling. Think about that again. So this means...
But see, and here's the thing. That's fine. Also, I know whoever I'm about to say this to regarding her quote, I know this woman is probably brilliant and probably thought about this in her own right. But when I read this quote, right? When I read this quote purely to like, obviously react on it and like explain, right? She says... feminist consciousness raising is not about being nice, it's about truth telling. Take away the feminist part of that, because that's not what I'm arguing. This has nothing to do of men, women, feminist or not. We could just say conscious rising is not about being nice, it's about truth telling. I feel like it's once again kind of taking what I was just saying, where it's like to be able to tell the truth is to be able to be not nice. You get what I'm saying? It was this guy who was talking about, they went to this show. He went to this show. It was a woman friend that he had that was performing a musical. She performed the musical. He thought the musical was horrible, right? When the girl got off the stage, she asked the guy, what did he think? The guy said, you did such a fantastic job. I could tell you put in a lot of effort into that. It was amazing seeing you up there. Notice how he didn't say, yo, the musical was horrible. Now, that's not lying, because he's just not going to tell her right there when her emotions are high and she genuinely cares about the production of the play. But he said when they got alone time, after some period of time went by, he sat her down and afterwards they talked about the play, and then he explained to her how he didn't really like the play. That's still truth telling while being nice. So the reason I bring that up is because this consciousness raising is not about being nice, it's about truth telling. Almost makes it sound like to tell the truth means to not be nice. And that's the only reason I brought that up.
Nice. It's about truth telling. Think about that again. So this mean girl isn't asking for approval. She's setting boundaries, refusing to code switch, and being honest, even if that honesty comes off a little cold. So I guess you could think to yourself, is she being mean or is she being direct? Sometimes I don't really feel like those two have boundaries. I notice a lot of people that say, oh, I'm just really blunt, I'm just really direct. Kind of use that as a mask when they're really just mean. But then maybe not everybody would perceive them as mean. So is the concept of a mean girl determined by the individual? Ooh, That'll cause you to
read what
think
you
a little
said too,
deeper.
Bafor.
Where
And
it's
TKO.
headed and the risk of performing detachment. But here's a catch. While this aesthetic can be empowering, it can also become a performance, one that ultimately isolates you. Pretending to be above emotion or constantly playing the pretty unbothered girl, that can really be draining. It discourages friendship, vulnerability, and community. A 2022 study in Sociology Compass warned that over-identification with mean girl tropes can lead to increased loneliness, especially among young women who use detachment as a coping mechanism. Coolness is often a shield for pain. The mean girl might be hurting.
I was gonna say, one of the lamest things, this sounds so counter. One of the lamest things that you could try to do is be cool. And I don't say that as in like you should be shamed for being a cool individual or like, but if you're striving for an ideal of like coolness, not, how could I say coolness? Because it's cool to be cool. Like if you're doing something and you end up being a cool figure in what you're doing, that's fantastic. And if you want to achieve that, that's fine. But if you're striving to be the idea of cool where it's like, I guess it would more so be striving to be the toxic variation of what cool is. Because there's a real variation of cool where people could identify like, yo, what you do with your work or what you do with your passion or how committed you are, that's really cool. But then you have like the toxic idea of cool where it's like that stand alone, mean, don't let nobody in, don't talk to nobody, don't smile. I think that's corny.
She just hides it better. Megan Thee Stallion, 2021. So ultimately, what's the takeaway? The pretty mean girl aesthetic taps into real emotions, frustration, powerlessness, and a need for boundaries. But being cold isn't the same as being powerful. Real strength lies in honesty, not apathy. Be soft and strong. Be kind and clear. And most of all, don't mistake detachment for healing. So that's all I have for you, besties.
Hey, fire video! Hey, fire video. Very thought-provoking, madam. I appreciate that right there. Thank you so much. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment twice down below. It helps me get the algo. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.